Hello YouTube. Long time no see. It's been about 2 weeks since we made our last video. Been busy. But today we're gonna talk about something really interesting. We're gonna talk about something very
Yeah, we gonna
interesting.
get down to it. All right, we gonna get right into it. We ain't gonna play no games out here. Um, Today we gonna be talking about the bankruptcy court in the in the Southern District of Ohio. I'm sorry, that's located downtown Columbus, and we're gonna be talking about the shenanigans of Judge C. Catherine Preston and the shenanigans surrounding the bankruptcy that Moses had filed back in 2017. Now, I know many people who have been through bankruptcy, and there's probably a few people that are watching this video that have been through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Now, generally, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy it can be different in many cases. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy can be bankruptcy can be complicated or it could not be complicated depending on the financials and the credit of the debtor. Okay, now that we got that out the way, we want to talk about Chapter 7 specifically, and how it relates to what I'm talking about here. Now, Chapter 7 bankruptcies. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy is generally asking the bankruptcy court to issue an order to discharge debts that you are unable to pay. All right? It's asking the bankruptcy court to discharge the debts that you're not able to pay. Now, when I say discharge the debts, that means wipe them clean, wipe them away. Wipe them away, for those who don't understand that. All right? Now, in many different cases, the type of debts that will be wiped away via a Chapter 7 is unsecured debts, secured debts, like auto loans. Unsecured debts are non-collateral bank loans. Unsecured credit cards. Unsecured credit cards is credit cards that's not secured by a savings account. Okay, some credit cards require you to have a savings deposit account attached to it to guarantee the credit line. An unsecured credit card does not require that. That's basically the credit issuer, the bank, giving you the issuing you the credit card on good faith based upon your credit scores, etc., or whatnot. Now, generally, after a person has had a 341 meeting where they meet with the uh, person in the bankruptcy court, the 341 meeting is usually consists of them answering certain questions under oath, sworn in questions as it relates to the debt. All right. Now, generally, a Chapter 7 does not take 18 months. Okay. Now, Chapter 7 in this case, in Moses' case, has taken nearly 18 months. All right. And the reason why it has taken this long, because there's a lot of shenanigans that was going on that we talked about in the other videos. Some of the viewers here that have been viewing the other videos in regards to the bankruptcy knows what I'm talking about. Okay, we had some creditors who violated the terms and conditions of the stay as in regards to the bankruptcy that was filed by Moses, and they had to get taken to task for those things. But again, there was some things that was done in this bankruptcy that was just totally pitiful. All right. Now, Moses had communicated to the bankruptcy court, how much money his wife makes annually. And there was people at the bankruptcy court, I'm just going to say people, I'm not going to get specific, that have went in there and put a black marker over it, and they don't want that information to be known. They don't want it on the record how much she makes, because they want to be able to tell the creditors, oh, we're going to give him a discharge, because they don't want to acknowledge Moses as a married man. Okay, they don't want to acknowledge his marriage as it relates to finances. They don't want him to be entitled to anything financial as it relates to his marriage. So they want to treat him as if he was just someone's baby daddy. Okay? Now, we all know that that's not right and that's against the law. Now, what that does is that deprives the creditors an opportunity to have their debts paid. And rightfully so, their debts should be paid. If the spouse can afford to pay the debt, then those creditors should be paid. Their debts should not be dismissed and discharged. Okay? All right? Now, in the last week of January, Judge C. Catherine Preston issued a discharge. She issued a discharge. And I'm specifically shedding light to the fact that she issued a discharge because it's very deceptive, because she's telling the creditors the debt is dismissed, he can't pay you. All right? Now, under the terms and conditions of his marriage, he most certainly can. He most certainly can. Okay? But these people don't want to acknowledge him as being married. They want to acknowledge him as just, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Now, again, that's adopting customs. That's adopting customs. Customs is something somebody customized just because whatever. That's what a custom is. A custom is a way, is a procedure or an act that is adopted just because, for no rhyme or reason. Okay? They don't want to acknowledge him as a married man. And that's exactly why they didn't issue him the support from his spouse that he was supposed to have received, etc., a few years ago. All right? And so all of those matters just ballooned out of order, and now we're here in this situation in this bankruptcy court. Now, that's good that she issued him a Chapter 7 and wiped his debt clean away. That's good, because he deserves a fresh start, because they really damaged his credit very severely. Okay? They really damaged his credit severely, putting him through this. I mean, that's a lot of damage, because, as you know, bankruptcies are on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. That's something that will always follow you, and they caused it. All right? So I just find it really, 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 really deceptive that they did that, knowing that the spouse has thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over and over to pay those debts 10 times and 100 times over. Okay? And this is the shenanigans that's going on. All right? This is what's going on. These people are thugs. These people have demonstrated to us that they are not professional. And if you go back to the bankruptcy video that is in the video history that's talking about that's talking about the bankruptcy, where I did the screen capture, you could see the Judge C. Catherine Preston. You could see her language in there. She's so disgusting. She's so disgusting. She's so pitiful. Okay? And all constitutional rights invoked, now waived. She's pitiful. She's pitiful. She said she told me that I couldn't use the Fifth Amendment until she see how it fits. When she told me that, I could not believe it. I really couldn't believe it, and it really shedded light on a lot of other things, because it allowed me to know that someone gave her that job. She was put there. She was put there because that doesn't make any sense at all. How are you going to tell somebody that they can't use their inalienable right until you say, or you going to see if it's the appropriate situation? She almost, in that courtroom, I was literally 5 seconds from calling her a bitch. Because that was very disrespectful. She disrespected me. And then she told me, pull your ID out and give it to the opposing counsel. So I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give him my ID. She said, pull your ID out and give it to him again. So she asked me again. So I wanted to see if she was actually going to make me do it. And so I did it. I did it only to see if she was actually going to make me do it. And she made me do it. And what he did was he took my ID. He came up to this witness stand, took my ID, and he wrote something down off of my ID. And he did the same thing to Moses. So, I don't understand what that was for. And she's sitting back just allowing this. And, it's just disgusting how they carried on in there. They carried on like some damn kids in that courtroom. They carried on like some damn kids. And in this whole Chapter 7 bankruptcy that they did, it's they fucked around. They really did, because it doesn't take you 18 months to do a Chapter 7. Generally, a Chapter 7 is issued up to 90 days after the 341 meeting, and can be issued as soon as 60 days after a 341 meeting. I'm going to say it again. A Chapter 7 discharge is issued in as little as 90 days after the 341 meeting, and can be issued as little as 60 days after the 341 meeting. It took them 18 months. 18 months.
That's crazy.
It took them 18 months. Judge C. Catherine Preston at the Bankruptcy Court in Columbus.
That's fraud.
Yeah, that's fraud. She's issuing release from stays on property that's subject to a marriage certificate. She issued a relief from stay on a debt that is subject to the jurisdiction of the divorce, that's marital property. So in other words, she told a creditor, "Oh, you can come and pick up Mr. McCormick's marital property." These people are unbelievable, and unbelievably stupid. Stupid. How you gonna tell somebody they can't use the Fifth Amendment? You don't even know your Constitution. So how are you working in a federal building? How are you even working as a federal judge and you don't know your Constitution? You don't know how a person can use rights or not. So how are you determining if any creditor violated any kind of stay or bankruptcy court order? You don't know what the fuck you doing. And then another thing that I find quite contrary and ironic is when you walk into that bankruptcy court in Columbus, you have to leave your cell phone in the car because of the cell phones have the cameras on them. You have to leave your cell phone in the car. What if you don't have a car? What if you were catching the bus? What if you were catching the bus? What if you were catching the bus? If you were catching the bus there and you don't have a car to go put your cell phone in, you can't go in there. Now you tell me that there's not something illegal going on up in there. That there's not some type of organization of some sort. Some type of covert organization going on. You see what I mean? Covert criminal activity. You know what I mean? In the same bankruptcy court in the Northern District that's located in Summit County, Akron, Ohio, you can walk in that bankruptcy court, you go through the metal detectors, and you get your property handed right back to you, cell phones and everything. All right? Now, why are they not doing that in Columbus? Why are they not doing that? Because they have something to hide. And they have proven and they have shown that they're not operating on the up and up. They're not operating on the up and up. They're not operating on the up and up. And they don't know the Constitution. The judge that we stood before, Judge C. Catherine Preston, she does not understand the United States Constitution. Okay? The irony. All right? That's the times that we're living in. They're just doing what they want to do. Okay? We're not going to make this video too long, but we just wanted to shed light on this Chapter 7 discharge she issued. She told his creditors he doesn't have to pay y'all debts. Boom. So why are you telling the creditors that the debts are dismissed through the Chapter 7 if you know good and goddamn well that the wife is making 6 figures? And you know that they are married, and you know that there's no prenuptial, and you know that there's no midnuptial, and you know that there's no postnuptial, and he put it on the docket that he's married. And his wife has a substantial amount of money hidden off in trust.
Got caught.
So if I had money hidden off in trust, and I'm just an everyday person, not going through no divorce or anything, and I owed creditors, and I tried to file bankruptcy, they would have my fucking ass indicted. They would have me indicted for fraud. They would have me indicted for fraud. You see what I mean? Todd Sidoti. Okay, and the viewers know who Todd Sidoti is. It's a lawyer who was pretending to represent, well, he was representing Moses, but it was all fake. He was sent to represent him to get him to settle out of court. This Todd Sidoti went to the same bankruptcy court in Columbus and he filed bankruptcy, and they were protecting him. He put my name on his bankruptcy and he put Moses' name on his bankruptcy as his creditors, just so he can get out of the lawsuit that we filed against him. Okay? Because we caught his ass. We caught them. We foiled their plan and we sued them all. So he tried to get the lawsuit froze for 60 months. Thinking that would tire us out and we would just go away. Like I said, we're never going to go away. This thing is fresh every day, like it happened 2 minutes ago. All right? All right? So yeah, they tried to protect him. And we took the measures and we took the steps and we were in contact with the right people who got that bankruptcy terminated. We got Todd Sidoti's bankruptcy thrown out and terminated. And as a result, he lost his house. His house went into foreclosure. Because you cannot bring malice against someone who did nothing wrong and think that you're going to have some good luck. I don't give a damn who trying to protect you. You going to get it. And his hell is not over. Because we about to pull his ass right back in court. Okay? This is what's going on down at the bankruptcy court down in Columbus, Ohio. But yeah, we're having them looked into. They're being looked into right now real good. Real good. They being looked all into. They got a nice, beautiful microscope up their ass. Okay? Now, we going to go ahead and end this video. And like we said, all constitutional rights stay invoked, now waived. And for you guys who have questions about anything or need clarity on anything that was spoke about this, leave it in the comment section and we will be delighted to answer your questions. Au revoir.
Thanks for viewing. Peace out.